If you want an all-expenses paid vacation to 49 of 50 US states, which one would you exclude? Probably somewhere like Oklahoma or Nebraska. Not sure what's there that I should visit, they're not somewhere that us Brits usually visit. Can I trade some of North Dakota, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Kansas, and Iowa for Puerto Rico, Guam, and or U.S. Virgin Islands? Do we get to go to the popular sites within the states for free? Because I might be more eager to include Florida if I get to do all the theme parks in Orlando. Not from US. So please don't roast me. I thought there were 51 states. From what I do know, I have no interest in going to New York. It just seems so excessively overhyped. People keep saying their home state. But surely an all-expenses paid vacation allows you to do so many things you otherwise couldn't afford to do otherwise? As a non-American, I'm choosing Rhode Island. Purely because I can't imagine it has much which its neighboring states don't. Mississippi. There's nothing that state offers that can't be experienced elsewhere. And in far better quality. I wouldn't even bother. As an European, Rhode Island, it is the smallest state by land area. The culture, food and such is probably very much like its neighboring states Massachusetts and Connecticut. Most of the states are vastly different geographically and I would hate not having that experience. Even though culture can be similar in some regions of the US, then I think they would still have more diversity than the difference between the before-mentioned states. Especially because of the large distances. They might still have same culture. But they will have different subcultures. Food scenes and things you want to watch. They become instantly uninterested in a product after seeing an ad for it? If it pisses me off, then I vow to myself that I'd never buy it. I'd give out an ad, but once something is so popular that it's the norm I get really grossed out. I tend to research on their competitors and give them my business instead. I like to give my money to the less ostentatious companies. I don't see ads on anything anymore. I will never bank with Chase because of that annoying tap to pay commercial they were playing like a year ago. Only if the ad is incredibly irritating. Surely if I see it on Instagram. Yeah, every single YouTube ad, and I do go out my way to never buy that product. My immediate thought is that they spent more on marketing than the product itself. Any car commercial. That's actually the ad working. Psychology behind advertisements is actually pretty interesting. They don't expect anyone to actually watch them or genuinely enjoy them. Maybe besides Super Bowl ads. Research has shown that as long as you hear the ad vaguely in the background 7 times you're more likely to buy that product when you're picking it out at the store. Yep. If I need it I have the skills to find it. I do not want the useless crap being pushed so hard by parasitic advertising companies who waste everyone's time, money and screen space. Get ads out of my face. An old black cabbie in Seattle once summed up all relationships thus: for me, you have your time. You get to pick who you want to spend it with. And THA's it. How do you evaluate this take? R/ask men? You delude yourself into loving someone cause you're desperate and wake up and do it all over again. He is oversimplifying it because relationships are two ways. They are not always reciprocal in nature. Even if you want to spend time with someone. If they abuse you or treat you poorly you shouldn't spend time with them. Way too simple and obviously not true. You get to pick who you want to spend it with and quad. Nope. You get to pick people you would like to spend time with. But they also get to pick. And they may not pick you. In fact, most often only a small fraction of the people you like actually like you back. The expected from an old person. Most likely old enough to not have experienced the modern struggles the internet brought along. That's the kind of thing my parents would say to me. I think some people are viewing this only through the lens of romantic relationships. But I see this pertaining to any type of relationship. Including the ones we have with friends and family. If you can, make time for the people you value in your life. A retired mechanic once told me, you have good days and bad days. And sometimes you just have to accept a day as a loss. And quote, I believe in reincarnation and I'm trying to take this life as a loss. Maybe the next one will be better. Actually, I think it is the woman who picks who her mate. That she often settles on a guy who she needs but not necessarily the one she lusts for. That lust is 10 times more intense than love and will overtake her senses when the opportunity presents itself. Leading to EA and eventually a PA. Leading to that saying to her mate, I love you but not in love with you and quote. That is just my opinion. What kind of people? Personality-wise. Do you actively avoid? People who want complete honesty from you. Just tell me how you're feeling, you can open up to me from you. But are incapable of being honest themselves when you need it. I notice these people would rather spin a yarn about how they think you'd respond to something or some perceived slight than actually come out and tell you if you offended them or say something they didn't like. Like, did you hear the way Op said wow? Nice red dress? They must have been being sarcastic and be easily offended by the color red and quote. Rather than just going to you and saying, hey, the way you said that thing upset me and quote. It's exhausting. No, thanks. People who give their unsolicited advice through condescending and rude insinuations directed at you. People who always one-up you. For example, claiming they know how you feel because they have the same diagnoses as you and or your child. Their child also has severe learning disabilities suddenly too. People who are constantly talking at you and telling you how to live your life. Sending screenshots directed at proving what they were telling you to do. People who lie. Manipulate use others to get ahead in life and then have the nerve to take credit for all the hard work that they put in to get where they're at today. People who are always loud, can't exist quietly, want to always be the center of attention, needy, clingy, are unwilling to respect boundaries, are bigoted, are cruel, nasty to other people, tell lies, are dishonest and manipulative, complain a lot, are negative Nancys, can't accept responsibility for their actions, it's always someone else's fault, are combative and like to argue for the sake of arguing, are unwilling to listen or open their mind to others' points of view, can't accept that they may be wrong in some cases.